Remember the times as a kid where you begged your parents for a certain something so bad that you begged and begged every day, most likely getting on the nerves of your parents? Well, for me, that was wanting a dirt bike. It was something I had seen other lucky kids with and something I wanted oh so badly. It seemed like such a fun hobby, and having recently ridden a buddy's bike of mine, it was all I could think about. For years and years I asked my parents for one, and while they truly did want to get me one, the only thing holding us back was the financial struggle of doing so, as getting into the sport was quite expensive. Now, while it seemed like this was never going to happen, one year it finally seemed like maybe it could. I was 10 years old and my 11th birthday was approaching soon. More than ever I was asking for this dirt bike, and having recently just moved to Santa Barbara with my family, we actually had a few family friends in town who were into dirt bike riding as well. Now it turned out that a family friend of ours was going to buy a new dirt bike and in turn was going to be selling his old one. So my parents, knowing how interested I was in getting one, were in talks with him and perhaps going to see if we could buy it from him. The only thing we didn't know was it the right bike for me, and was it big enough? So the weekend before my birthday, we had a little family get-together where we had some close friends and family over, and sure enough, this family friend came over, and I was absolutely enthused about that. The fact of my birthday coming up was already exciting to me, but the fact that he made it to this party that day was even more exciting. Me wanting a dirt bike so badly, I urged my parents to please go talk to him about the bike, as it's all I could think about recently. And so he did, and he said, yeah, you guys should come over and check out the bike whenever you can. And hearing that, I was thrilled. And then he followed with, you know what, if you're actually not doing anything after the party, I'd be more than happy to go show you it. And so we said, yeah, fantastic, that would be great. And so later that day we went over to his place to check out the bike, and sure enough I first see it and it absolutely looks awesome and so cool to me. It's everything I ever envisioned. Now it initially did look a little big for me, but I was just barely able to get my leg over the bike and fit on it. And from that moment I was absolutely hooked on it and my parents could see it. Now I didn't know about this, but my parents had written a check to buy the bike if everything checked out. But having not knowing this, we just returned home and I just thought, cool, we check out the bike. If my parents like it, hopefully they'll make it happen. And so I was in my room chilling for a bit, and sure enough, about like an hour or two later, they knock on my door and say, hey Blake, we got a surprise for you waiting in the garage. And so we walk out, and lo and behold, we have the dirt bike sitting there in my garage, and I was absolutely crazy. I was so shocked that they actually had it, and they had bought it for me. I was completely surprised by it. And from that point on, I was entered into the awesome world of dirt bike riding. Till this day, dirt bike riding is one of my favorite hobbies. Nothing beats the adrenaline rush you get from hitting a jump, riding through tight technical trails up in the mountains, and spending some of the best days out with your buddies. Since getting my first dirt bike, I've progressed so much as a rider. I've saved up and been able to move up to bigger and better bikes throughout the years, and had so much fun doing so. Dirt biking has brought me so much, from learning how to work on bikes, taking me on incredible trips, and introducing me to so many cool people. The day I got my first dirt bike was nearly 10 years ago, and oh how grateful I am that it happened. Looking back on how it all went down is truly amazing that it actually was able to happen. It is for all of that the night I got my first dirt bike was my best day ever. Thinking about your best day ever is kind of hard to think about. Especially being a young adult like we are, we've already lived so many good days, and there are so many more that are yet to come. But thinking about what really I look forward to in life and what I enjoy doing recently, it truly is the hobby of dirt bike riding. It's crazy how a certain something can really just make your day, and perhaps even make it your best day ever.